Once again, the Beitbridge Border crossing has slowed to a crawl. eNCA reported on a backlog stretching over a kilometre yesterday. Truck drivers at what is supposed to be Southern Africa's busiest border are having to sleep in their vehicles. Many are afraid their negative COVID tests will expire before they make it through. A new one-stop project was launched yesterday, where operators say about 480 trucks make it through on an average day. Pule Letshwiti-Jones is there, and he's keeping an eye on that situation for us. Pule, what's causing this huge backlog?
Well, a very good morning, and like we've just witnessed here, these are long snaking lines that continuously persist. Of course, we've been here for almost over 12 hours right now, but it seems as though there still isn't any change, particularly with what you've just mentioned there, with truckers having to say that they're worried that their COVID-19 clearance certificates would expire after 72 hours of having camped here. And this is a problem that continues to persist. But what we understand is that the Department of Home Affairs had issued a statement yesterday saying that they would extend their hours at several Departments of Home Affairs for about 2 hours for more of the travelers who are going to Zimbabwe during the festive season, of course, and for locals in the country to collect their IDs and ensure that they process their documentation. But most importantly, that the port of entries, which would be necessarily having to operate for 24 hours, would have to be in place and have to ensure that they process the documents of some of the truckers who are moving, like they've said and told us, essential goods into places like Harare in Zimbabwe.
Pule, do we know what's changed in the last few weeks? We spoke to the operators of that border post, and they assured us they had cleared out all the problems and the trucks were flowing freely. What's changed?
Well, it seems like the truck flow is actually increasing, and we don't know what has changed from then and now, particularly because yesterday we saw an incident whereby there was actually an accident just in front of the Beitbridge post entrance, which caused traffic for about 3 kilometers. But what we noticed is that while we thought that was the chaos or the problem to this whole backlog, it seems as though this problem continues to persist throughout this morning. In fact, we've been here from around 6 o'clock facilitating what's going on, but it seems as though the queue is getting even longer. But what we know is that the Department of Home Affairs had, of course, promised earlier this year that while Zimbabwe was using a manual based system to try and process some of those who are coming in, that they would cooperate with our government to try and make sure that they have an electronic system to ensure that it will ease the congestion of truckers on trucks flowing into Zimbabwe. But post today, we're still here, and it seems as though this problem continues to persist and is affecting the livelihoods of some of the truckers who say that they need to transport essential goods into the country.
Pule, is this wait at the border the same for passenger vehicles, or is it just isolated to the truckers?
Well, for now it is isolated to the truckers. In fact, motorists are going in, and there seems to be no traffic. The flow is very smooth and is transitioning very well. But for the truckers, it's a bad story. They have to wait here and see how they can get inside, how they can process their documents, and how they will have to camp here for quite some time. Now, just yesterday we were here as well, and it was extremely hot, and truckers had to collect some coolers to ensure that they can wait patiently here. But it seems as though they are losing patience, calling on government officials from both countries to actually corroborate and see how they can finally put an end to this persisting trouble.
Yeah, very worrying, Pule, especially with a highly transmissible variant of COVID-19 doing the rounds. There's no water, no ablution facilities. It's a terrible state of affairs. Thank you so much, Pule. We'll catch up with you throughout the day. Pule Letshwiti-Jones is out at the Beitbridge Border Post. Let's take a